Well, everyone, welcome to another episode of That Range Life, a show sometimes about golf. I'm Bill Bush of DriveRangeHeroes.com, at Range Heroes on all your favorite social media platforms. That guy over there, that's Kris McEwen, at Kris McEwen, if you want to give him a follow. Before we get going, per usual, go down below. Please hit subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified. Anytime we'll throw a Sunday video at you, you'll get notified. Okay?
It's true. We're in another speed pocket or something, man. Like, our views have skyrocketed. It's been really fun again to watch.
Just hit that bell so you can be part of the fun.
Yeah.
It's a Monday, so I'm going to apologize as we're recording this. Right out of the gate, I am just not firing on all cylinders today. I can't tell you I have any good excuse aside from the normal life, but I'm gonna give him my all for you guys, the viewers, and the listeners.
That's all we can ask. That's all we can ask as fans of Bill Bush.
Speaking of the audience, I forgot, if you're a podcast listener, thank you. Make sure you rate and review, do all the good things, and tell a friend. Maybe share on social media. I don't know if you've noticed this lately, Kris, but I've just been in my house going, why don't I give something away? And I'm just here's some grips laying around that I'm not going to use, from which in retrospect probably should have kept for review stuff and testing, but that's okay. Rather make someone else's day.
You're a giver. I mean, at the end of the day, you're a giver, Bill.
It's true.
That's what everyone says about you.
National Something Old Day. I was excited to give something and surprise a follower on the Twitter. They don't know what's coming to their house. I said, DM me your info. I'll pick something out and send it your way. So you never know if you follow us and tell your friends, listen to the show. You never know what opportunities might arise.
It's true. It's true. We really missed, I feel like, because when this show drops, we won't really have time. But what we could have done, because the NCAA tournament is starting, we could have had a fun little contest with the listeners / viewers. Start a bracket, have everyone go, and the winner could have got some Bill Bush Museum swag or something.
When does the tournament start? What day?
Thursday.
Yeah, okay. It's too late. I was going to say, we still got time.
Yeah, it's a little late for that. Because then, people would scramble for it, and it's not fun.
It's not like us to be that proactive. And
I did start a bracket specifically for my children and I. Zell is also participating, but it's called Win Dad's Money. And so I've put $200 of my own cash into the pot. And if any of them beat me, they win the $200. And Zell is playing on behalf of all three kids. So if she wins, she will divvy out the winnings equally amongst them.
Oh, I think just to stick it to you, she should do, if she wins, you have to give each of them $200, including her.
But I was the gatekeeper, and I wouldn't agree to that.
You think you're the gatekeeper, but let's be honest.
Don't forget about the reminder about our new ambassadorship.
Okay, so told you I'm not firing at all cylinders, but I didn't want to go into such a negative tone right out of the gate. But as you can see, I don't know if you're noticing, I'm wearing a polo shirt.
It's true.
For recording this show.
Nice looking fella.
Normally you wear a
podcast listeners. It's
t-shirt.
It's a orange.
No, it's the lighting. They're red. They're roses.
They're roses. Okay.
I believe I picked this up for Roback Valentine's Day, maybe last year. But I said, you know what? We're Roback ambassadors here on That Range Life, and
it's true. I got to start playing the role too. I'm not wearing. I got to start wearing the ambassador stuff.
Due time,
like a good ambassador should.
But listen, we have a pretty loyal following for some reason on this stupid show. And you heard all these people like, oh my God, this is awesome. I love Roback. That's so good. You guys have a code. I've never bought anything from it. I've always wanted to, but now I'm going to. I'm going to just tell everybody. We know if that code's getting used.
Right. The numbers didn't add up.
There are a lot of you out there.
For those, fulfill your promise to your friends here at That Range Life.
There are a lot of you out there I am very disappointed in. All right? I'm going to say it. For those who are not
Bill
part
going
of this
full
group,
dad mode on us, everybody.
you know,
He's not mad. He's just disappointed.
it's one thing to let me down. It's one thing to let Kris down. But to let us both down together is pretty bad. Like, come on. We're better. We're better to you as
What's
friends.
the code? What's the code for them to use this week?
For those who are going to support the effort and want to get slick shirts like this, go over to rowback.com for all first-time orders in your household.
That's right.
That Range Life 15. 15. That Range Life 15 at rowback.com.
Link in the description / whatever notes, show notes.
I crave activity.
Pick out a shirt. Get yourself a discount.
I was skateboarding in Rowback this weekend, and
well, that's because you crave activity. You hashtag crave activity, Bill.
I do, and I want to tell you something. We knew this day would come. I did sustain my first adult back to skateboarding injury. Nothing killing me, nothing stopping me from living my life. But
did you hit the ankle bone or something on a kickflip or something?
Shin, side shin, with the tail of the board, and it's. Thank God I wasn't wearing shorts because then we'd really probably have had a bloody mess. But it's just been pretty uncomfortable ever since. But it is good. It makes me feel alive. You know,
I was thinking too. Since we're talking about crave activity, hashtag crave activity, we have not taken full advantage of your purchase late last year in the golf cart cover.
No.
So I feel like, of course it snowed today here, but, as the weather starts to turn, I mean, that first, 40-degree day on a weekend, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be out in the cart with the cover and the propane tank.
I will say the handful of rounds that have been possible even this year have just been such like soggy, muddy, icy messes that like we wouldn't have been able to use the cart. But
right.
No reason we couldn't just like throw it over us and walk under it. Yeah.
So let's try to do that here towards the end of this month. I think it's going to be pretty cold until end of March.
At some point, I feel like I don't even care if there's grass out there. I don't care if it's super cold. I say that now. In the middle of it, I'll be miserable and regret it.
Right.
I'm not 25 years old anymore.
What's the temperature? If it's below 60, do we go cart cover? Just because, like, if it's 58 degrees, we put the cart cover on there, even though that's like beautiful weather.
I was gonna say, I feel like if you're talking like, I'm good like 40 and up, but for the sake of this exercise.
No, I'm saying like we don't use the cart cover when it hits 65 degrees. Right. Oh yeah. Okay.
So I'm saying that realistically it should be like 40. I'm pretty easy going, especially in the spring where 40 seems like 75.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Right. Yeah.
But for the sake of this exercise, I feel like 65, 70 degrees somewhere in there.
Right.
I do.
Why fight with the cold? And it's our little cozy little fort that we can drive around the golf cart in for 4 hours.
I do love the idea of like well into the comfortable weather golf season. We still have the cover on. We're just like, no, we're just kind of private.
But we have like the doors open. We have like they're unzipped and like pinned back, but we still have it there. Like we're not actually using any of the cover parts, but we just have it on the cart. Right.
Right. And we'd be like, what, you don't do this?
Right.
God, we're idiots. All right. Well, we got a golf show. Players happen. Second episode of Mandalorian came out.
Yeah.
What do you want to get into?
You want to talk about the boringest man in golf? The most boringest man in golf who just all he does is just get a lead and then close out tournaments.
It's incredible. I don't even know what to say. I went to the dentist today and he's like, you watch the players and Scottie Scheffler? And I'm like, and I texted you, obviously. It is so boring, and I can't.
It's incredible. It's to the point where it's like you can't believe it. Like you can't believe this guy.
Well, and if every time any player is on a streak, Morikawa was the next Tiger, Jordan was the next Tiger, Rory is the next Tiger. They say about all of them. So I'm not ready to say Scottie's the next Tiger. But what's happening with Scottie Scheffler, the last time we saw anything like this, was Tiger Woods.
He has won. Do you know how many he's in his last 27 starts?
He's won, 26 and a half of them.
6 times in his last 20. What was the stat? He's up there, he's won 6 times in his first and less than 100 starts.
Right.
But that means he went like 54 with nothing and then just got on this wild ride of a heater and just
finding his way. And
it's funny. Yeah. Like you said, like Morikawa, when he was at the peak of his game or at, whenever, and they were talking about him being the next, but like he had a thing, like he was the premier iron player. Like he is a ball striker. Rory hits the ball a mile. Rahm is like, this big hulk of a Spaniard that hits the ball well with his short swing and blah, blah, blah. But then you just have Scottie who goes out there and just ho-hums his way around a golf course for 4 days. And sure enough, wins by 5 strokes.
Right.
So it's like, what?
But I was trying to, and just kills the field.
Right. That's what I mean. Like he just gets up on it. He gets a lead and then that's it. And like we kept watching, like I think most of us that were still watching, like really attentively, however you want to put it. Like you're just waiting. Like this can't be real. This guy can't be this consistent and this normal during this tournament. Like this, like you had 17 coming up, like, all right, he's at least going to make us hold our breath for a minute on 17. He's got to be nervous, whatever. Nope. Middle of the green, 2-putt par, moving on. Like, okay, well, that's that.
It's, I think the difference between when Tiger was winning at this clip, and obviously like, oh, Tiger won like 700 starts in a row. Like it's not still, we're not ice head. It's not quite the same. It's not, we'll never see a lot of the stuff like that. But
no.
The commentary when Tiger was in his prime and doing what Scheffler's doing now was like, oh, it's the end of precision golf. Everything's bomb and gouge now. You got to Tiger-proof your course, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
The reason I feel like the Scheffler thing isn't resonating with anybody is because he's not hitting these like absurd golf shots around trees off pine needles and all these like flair for dramatics because he put himself in these tough spots. I just hit a 308-yard drive in the dead center of a fairway and I missed off the green. I just need to get up and down for par. Okay, I hit a wedge to it wasn't so great. I hit it to 7 feet and I just made a 7 foot long 2 feet of break putt routine.
Right.
That's the difference.
Like he did on 18. That's exactly what he did on 18.
He just strategically, safely navigates a golf course. It's not hitting it short either. It's just
right. I think he birdies the holes you're supposed to birdie and he pars the ones you're supposed to par, and that's it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really just like a nothing. It's like, all right. And plus he's so like, he's just straight laced and kind of, emotionless. Like it doesn't really seem to, And
I'm sure, the flair for dramatics missing and that takes some of the fun away. But I think what he's doing is actually it's super fun. I want to see him keep doing it in this boring fashion because it's so robotic. Like it can't be real. Right. The way I've been explaining it to people, it's sort of like you go out and play 18 holes. You go to the driving range and, just struggling all over the place, can't figure it out. And then all of a sudden you have like just that one shot where you go, that was incredibly easy.
Right.
Like that was so easy.
Right.
Why can't I do that every time? The difference is that make it easy. And why is it so easy? He can do every shot, and he is. Like if you would ask me, it's easy. Putting it, hitting your line on a putt is easy. Just chipping it there is it's easy.
Right. The ball's just sitting there. You're not even to do it. The ball's just sitting on the ground. You just hit it.
I don't know. It's just it's an easy game.
No problem. Yeah.
And there's something to be said about that. I say it all the time. Like, it's funny how we do one of our matches where we're playing just irons or whatever. When you start simplifying it, it's amazing how bad of a golfer you can be and still be good. So imagine being an incredible golfer doing the same thing. Well, you can probably be very good.
Right. Probably the best in the world. I would like to see, the last thing I'd like to see, I don't have the sort of photographic tournament memory that some people do, but and he lost the 6-stroke lead at the Tour Championship last year. That's well documented, but I would like him to get pushed by one of the other top 5 golfers.
Yeah, the Rorys, the Roms.
Yeah, I would like to see if he does, in the words of Paul Azinger, he has nerves. He's got nerves.
Oh my God.
You never know.
I don't have any quotes to reel off at you, but oh my God.
I can't do anymore. But what I do love is I feel like the rest of Twitter, golf Twitter, is catching on because I'm seeing more and more people just have no time for this dude. And I think it's probably Trevor Immelman's fault for being so good. But I just, a couple weeks in a row of Paul Azinger and everyone just has fatigue. They got zinger fatigue.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
I have one other note. Can we also adopt Minwoo Lee as one of our show?
Yeah.
Guys? Because that dude is unbelievable.
My highlight for him, obviously, that video of him having the cramp on I think the first day was fun. But what really,
and then he tweeted about it and said, like, yes, I am an athlete. Or something.
No, he said, I'm not an athlete.
Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was.
What caught my attention was, though, the one that said about something about being an athlete was a Barstool tweet. And he quote tweeted it, saying it. So it tells me he follows Barstool.
Right.
It's sort of in on the joke of life.
Right.
I thought it was.
He's great.
Is that
with his
levity?
dirty little mustache and his blade sunglasses and his mock neck golf shirt.
The mustache is so bad. And
not to mention that he swings an iron like 170 miles an hour or something insane.
Right. Hey, did you know, did you catch that his sister plays on the LPGA? And
I heard about that.
And that if they play from his
that was a good Paul Azinger quote. He's like, he's probably just trying to keep up with the sister, or he's like he said something about that. I'm like, oh God. Yeah. That's what he's thinking about on the golf course right now. That's what he's trying to do.
If they play from his tees, he obviously has the advantage, but if they play from her tees, it's pretty close.
Jesus Christ.
Got it. Yeah. So one of the top 3 players on the LPGA.
Right.
You're telling me can ball strike the living daylights out of a quote unquote mediocre. It's not fair to say about him, but you get my point.
Right.
PGA player, no, get out of here.
But he was like, even on 17 on Sunday, he's whatever he was, 7 strokes back at that point. He birdied 17 and he's playing it up to the crowd. Everyone's chanting his name. Like, dude, it's so great. So fun.
I think we can add him to the list. Lord knows, Lord knows we need another one on it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, our guys, Willie Z and Thigala finished, what is it? Second to last and third to last, respectively, after the cut.
Was it last week's show? We were just saying, as soon as we adopt you, good things happen, and or that. That's what happens.
But it's a big week for Akshay at the Valspar this weekend.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I just need him to have a good week.
I want a camera on that dude all the time. That's all.
I think it shouldn't. Or no, is that just one tournament last year? Isn't there some in one of the PGA packages you can watch any player? I don't know.
Maybe like ESPN. Well, no, I think that was the Masters that you can do that, right? I think you can watch every shot by any player or something.
I'm
insane.
so bad at being.
It's not going to be the Valspar. It's not. They don't have that kind of production at the Valspar.
They should.
I agree.
Akshay's playing. Get it out there. Let's
right.
I mean, obviously they're going to pick him for season 2 of Full Swing Thoughts, right?
Right. And half the time,
it's a show now.
Yes.
Hey, did you notice? Last note on golf stuff and our guys. So Rick, we had a week.
T13.
Did you notice his shot on 17 on Sunday? I'm like, I bet you no matter how this kid's playing, he shows up to 17 on Sunday with that pin placement
and pin seeks.
it hits that exact same shot every time. Like it's the 2015 shot and playoff shots all over and over again.
Right. Totally.
It's good to see. I will also point this out. I'm going to get to one of your plugs, touch on your plugs. You can come back to it later. Speaking of Rick, after everything, the conversation we had at the Chicago Golf Show about the limited edition Cobra irons and how they're kind of absurd, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I was laying in bed the other night going, you know what? I kind of wish I did have a set of those.
Of course.
Like how fun. No business playing them. We agree on that, but it'd be so fun to just take out and be like, look at these things.
To have, just to have them. I agree.
I mean, for the getting them at a steal at $900, I don't know about that. So
steal, right?
I would. I do want a set of those at some point. Anyway, I'll find them.
Maybe there's always next year at the CGS.
We're giving them away this week. Like you had these, you had these here last year. We had them for $900 last year. Give them to you for $850. Oh,
right.
Thank you.
Right.
Appreciate you. All right.
By then we should probably be raking in. What
just happened there?
Oh, here, watch this. That's how that goes.
I was going to ask. I mean, were you like setting the scene to talk Mandalorian today with your with
my dark background?
Yeah, I felt like I was in some sort of like imperial lair.
You know how I love to play with lighting,
but it was just dark. That wasn't playing with lighting. It was the throne room.
That's good. Anyways, you want to talk Mandalorian since you brought it up?
I don't know. There's 2 episodes.
It seemed like you were very confused the other night watching. As we were watching together without knowing it.
That's wild. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, so I don't want to talk about it too much. I think I agree with you. Like it's a little, and I want to go on record. I said this during Book of Boba with the big fight episode when they were like in that town and Boba and Mando are fighting side by side and they look like just 2 clumsy old men fumbling around the tops of the city. Yeah. Like I knew we were in store for, I feel like all these shows sort of going that way. I do feel like it's a little silly, but I also feel like they went, this thing had a little bit of legs. So now we actually need to fill in a lot of the holes we haven't addressed in the first 2 seasons and other shows. And they're spending a lot of time doing that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say I don't have time for it because I've been watching it with the kids. It's been nice to actually have something we can all watch together. I can explain it to them and it's nice. And they keep calling, to Baby Yoda or Grogu, that whole to do.
Right. Do you watch it with the captions on?
No.
Oh my God. You should hear, or you should read how they describe the noises that Grogu makes.
Okay.
It's wonderful. It's like just wonderful. I do watch it with captions because the volume goes like this all the time.
It's really bad, isn't it?
Yeah. So I just try to keep it down because my wife doesn't watch it. She's usually asleep. So I watch it at night by myself.
While we're at that, speaking of captions, what's with the this Game of Thrones? Let's up the brightness. Let a little more light into the lens.
Yeah, there was a whole article I remember reading about that, about how difficult it is to get lighting because of the wide range of quality televisions that are being used. But yeah, just make it a little brighter. I don't know.
It's just unnecessarily dark. And I know you're going for a vibe, but you're not hitting. It's just dark.
Yeah. It's a little backlight would never hurt anybody.
Just a little.
Just a key light off in the distance.
Especially when the entire shot is computer generated. There's no need for this. So I think that's all we need to say about
I didn't really have I didn't have too big of a problem with the second episode of Mandalorian. I didn't like the first one. It was a boring recap. It was like, oh God, you could have done that in the previews. You could have said like, remember last season when this and happened. And I feel like that's kind of what episode 1 was. I'll tell you this, the self-narration by Din to Grogu is getting to be a bit much. I understand that it's kind of for a younger audience. I think part of it is the way that Andor and these other shows like Last of Us sort of treats the audience. Like either you keep up or you got to figure it out later. Like Mandalorian doesn't do that, right? Mandalorian's very much like a video game. Like, oh, there is a door. Let's walk through that door. And it's Din talking to Grogu when it's really just him kind of telling the audience, we're going here.
Right.
It's kind of getting a bit overdone, but I get it. You and I we're watching it for the old little feelings it stirs up because it's Star Wars.
They call that nostalgia.
Right. Nostalgia. Yeah, otherwise I thought it was good. Like, I don't know, maybe you do. I don't know the backstory of Mandalore, the planet Mandalore.
Well,
and I'm hoping they go back. I was hoping they'd go back even further and show it getting blown up and how that happened.
Yeah, I'm assuming we'll get to that. But then I'm going to go, well, why could we have just done that in that episode? Just gotten that done?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I don't think we're spoiling too much.
I like that one little eye guy.
Yeah.
That thing was cool.
I had a question, but I'm going to save it because it might give stuff away. So I'm not going to ask a question.
I don't think we gave anything away there.
No, no, but my question about the eye guy might. And so,
got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
But it was fun. That. And you needed, after they lost the one woman from the show because of some extracurricular non-show related activities, you needed another, female kind of hero. And so it kind of makes sense that they would pull in, what's her name, more into the storyline. Bo-Katan, sorry, yeah.
I assume I spelled it right in our text.
Yeah, I think you did. Anyways.
Look at me. It's just Star Wars guy.
Good time, hashtag TV talk. Haven't done that in forever.
Yeah, I'm just not watching. I am enjoying my...
You watched Andor, right?
No, I watched, I think, 2 episodes. I need to watch. I want to watch. I do. It's something like, it's my brain. I don't know how to explain it.
God, what's the matter with you? I really enjoyed that show. I
have to tell you, let's stick on TV talk. And I know I've been saying I'm rewatching Always Sunny.
Yes. What season are you in now?
4, I think.
Okay. I mean, there were only 4 episodes in season 1, like 7 in season 2. They're real short seasons early on.
They're in the 10-ish, range.
Not season 1.
It's like 8-10.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever been told by chance, and I don't know who would, knowing like sort of like your path.
Okay.
You know how I was saying to you, like, it's interesting before especially before Frank comes and before the characters all sort of turn into doofi.
Right. Yeah.
And they're more like regular people.
Right.
Charlie Day's character, Charlie Kelly, reminds me a lot of like a Chris McEwen caricature. Have you ever gotten that? I mean, even the way he talks and exclaims things, I'm like, oh my God, this is like
when he gets real excited. Yeah, when he gets real excited.
And then there was
I could see that.
There was one episode, and I don't know if it was like him and Mac. Again, Charlie's not like full blown Charlie yet.
Right. Living in his underwear and the whole thing. And
right. But there was some like where him and Mac were teaming up for something, or maybe it was him and Dennis. Don't remember which. And I'm like, I think it was Charlie and Dennis were like sort of teaming up on against everybody behind their backs, whatever. And I'm like,
yeah,
this is me and Kris. It was almost alarming.
Like the way that we bicker on the golf course. I feel like that really. But
yet, yes, but wholeheartedly agree on everything at the same time. Like it was it was so dysfunctionally perfect. I'm like,
right.
This is hitting, and the personalities we're hitting right. It's like, God, this isn't that far off from my reality with Kris.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So now the problem is that's in my head. So as the characters continue to become weirder as the show progresses, I'm gonna have a hard time separating us from that now.
Right.
I love that show.
I wonder at some point if our personas switch into another person, like do I go from being Charlie to Mac or to Dennis or to D?
I never really gave the show enough credit how much they all sort of cycle who's the weirdo or who, who's truly the most degenerate out of all of them. I mean, Frank is pretty consistent as being kind of awful.
from the jump. But yeah, the rest of them kind of rotate through being like the lack of self-awareness or just mean to people.
Or even just whatever. Like quite literally delirious. You know,
right.
They're on something, what planet? I don't know. It's just, God, it's so good. It's so good.
Show's amazing. Yeah, show's absolutely amazing. Have you taken in any of their podcasts? Because it's also a lot of fun.
If you
listen to the podcast, I feel like then you really get a taste of the Charlie Dennis dynamic that reflects our dynamic, because that's that's real life.
I haven't been at, maybe that's something. Well, that's the last thing I need, something else to pick up in my YouTube consumption. But maybe I'll get back on the Always Sunny podcast because it was good.
It's very good. It's very good. I feel like that one and the Scrubs rewatch are my top two like rewatch podcasts. I enjoy those.
You love you some Scrubs. You sure do.
I do. I'm rewatching it again.
Again, there you go.
I am. Yeah, it's like my 100th rewatch or something. But
how many seasons was Scrubs again?
It went 9.
Okay, I thought I
stopped
8.
watching after 7.
Interesting.
Because 8 and 9 was like, maybe it was just 8. I thought it was 8 and 9, but like after season 7, it's like the new class.
I'd say most of the characters are gone, right?
Yeah, like Zach Braff's only in 5 episodes, and yeah, there's a lot of like young stars that go on to do other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In that second, like Aziz is in that season.
Right. Isn't Dave Franco in it too?
Dave Franco's in there. The girl that was in Happy Endings, the blonde-haired girl, can't remember her name, but she was in it too. But yeah, I mean, it's not the same. It's not nearly the same. They started doing outtakes at the end of episodes. It's like, come on.
Oof.
Yeah, that's enough, guys. But
cut it out.
Yeah, but man, you got to get back on it because you've got Last of Us you have to watch. Have you watched any of Shrinking on Apple?
Shrinking's not even on my radar.
Oh my God, dude, you got to watch it. That's by the guy who created Scrubs. Okay. And Ted Lasso, obviously the same dude.
Very excited for Ted Lasso to be back. Oh yeah, wait.
Wednesday.
As I say, yeah, it's not Wednesday.
As the show drops. Jason Segel is in Shrinking. Harrison Ford. Really, 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 really well done show.
Hey, are we letting our audience down not doing Oscar talk? I don't think so, right?
I haven't seen a single Oscar. We were talking about this last night. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the Oscars. And this is, I used to go, my wife and I used to go see every Best Picture nom. We used to see them all and didn't watch a single one.
I mean, you even call it a nom. That's how serious
well, you're going to use
my friend Kris,
all 5 syllables or whatever it is.
Super cool. So things like the nom.
Yeah. So no, I didn't watch it.
Yeah. I haven't seen any of them. I'm
really happy for, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I feel like that cast was really good. Jamie Lee Curtis won an Oscar for it. What's his name? Short Stack or whatever from Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
He won an Oscar for it, which is pretty cool.
Did you see? So obviously Brendan Fraser won an Oscar.
Brendan Fraser.
And that guy won an Oscar. Yep. But they were both in Encino Man.
Yes, I did see that.
And then, so there was a interview that came out with Pauly Shore this week, like leading up to, and he's like, well, obviously I would like to be in the mix on this, but I'm happy for these guys. And it's funny reading the thing because he was giving them credit, but he's also like, not going to give them too much credit. He's like, I mean, these were great roles that anybody could have, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, right.
God, it's okay, Paul. Yeah. I get it. I get that.
Brendan Fraser also had an arc in Scrubs.
That's right. I forgot
which is fantastic. Yeah.
It's fantastic. He probably should have won something for that. Just saying.
It's true. I wonder if he was nominated for that. He might have been nominated for an Emmy for that.
Sure. I think he won it. Actually.
It was a great guest star. I mean, it was like and they backdoored you on some stuff and they tugged at the heartstrings and you didn't see it coming.
Maybe I need to go. Do I need to go back? I'm going to go back and watch Scrubs now. Could have happened.
At least until Zach and when JD leaves, then you can stop watching. I think that's 7 seasons. It's an easy watch. It's like 20 minutes a pop. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But anyways, man, you got to get to work. You got some catching up to do.
I just don't think I'm going to. Let's be honest. All right. Anything else?
Last of Us. You got to watch Last of Us.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
I do need to.
You have to.
Do need to get that one.
So good.
Let's get your HBO account. It's fine. Actually, yours is somebody else's, if I'm not
It's
mistaken.
true. Yeah, it's true. Which I'm fine with.
All right.
The owner will be fine with it too.
Anything else you need to cover on this show?
No, but next week we are going to do USGA fun facts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Put it on the record.
Hopefully we won't, because we're going to be too busy, and the whole show is going to be dedicated to Akshay's Valspar win.
Oh my God! Yes.
If he wins,
yes,
we obviously have to do an in-person show, and we're calling into work the next day.
Right. We have to order can we get like an Akshay dupe, like a knockoff golf shirt that he wore? I'll just wear the one that he wore at Valspar. I don't know.
We'll figure something out.
We need to get some Akshay wigs. We need to go
we'll definitely be going to FedEx and getting like some sort of like blotter printout, like a fat head or something.
Right. Yeah. We'll just, we could do an interview. We could sit him in the chair between us or put him right on the table just to get a cutout.
Yeah.
We'll just do an interview with Akshay.
God, we're such a losers. All right. What do we have to plug? What do we got going?
Well, we wandered the halls of the Chicago Golf Show a few weeks ago, and that video is out and hitting like gangbusters. Apparently everyone likes to watch you, me, Riv, intern Grant, Adam Unfiltered, and Mrs. Unfiltered wander and talk about golf stuff. So go and watch that. I think I'll have on this Friday, I've got up my own testing video.
Oh man.
Like review video.
God help us all.
See how it goes.
I don't know if you guys feel like it. Head over to driverangeheroes.com. Check out the Adele SMS Pro Irons review.
Okay.
You may check out a True Linkswear Lux Hybrid review. Those nice. I'm going to sneak peek you that review. Those shoes are so good. They're knit upper. Could take on a little dirt and grime. I'm thinking, so I don't know how, while they are a waterproof shoe, I don't know how receptive to getting super muddy and whatnot they're going to be.
Yeah.
But in a non-super muddy setting, these are probably going to be my go-to shoe for this season.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they're really good. I need to get those boys to send me over a few more pairs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, go check that out. And then, hey, don't forget, Rowback.com.
Yes.
First time orders. All right. Just saying that. Do with that what you will.
That's right.
Pop in that Range Life 15 for your 15% discount on your entire cart. You could order
entire basket.
You could order 15 polos, 6 quarter zips, 3 pairs of joggers, and 2 hats.
Don't forget about the hoodies. Don't forget the hoodies.
Maybe throw the hoodie in it. I do feel like that hoodies. I've been coming up with like content bits to do, and they all revolve around the hoodie. So I'm like, I might need another hoodie or two. Just
the hoodies are low key, like sick, like for real.
I'm going to answer. I got a lot of questions on this from the people who were going to use the code, Kris.
Yeah.
Let me explain the hoodies for all of you. They're a thinner material. Don't think like your favorite, classic hoodie that keeps you warm. Think more
not like this hoodie, not like one of these.
Yeah, think more like a quarter zip, but a hoodie instead of a quarter zip. That thickness, that material, that level of warmth. So nice for a nice autumn day. Maybe spring has sprung.
Let's say
for that.
Late April.
Yeah, you're going to be fine in 50 to 65 degree weather, not sweating in it.
Right.
Is it going to keep you warm in 40 degrees? Probably not. Okay, so just that's the hoodie explanation. Does not have pockets. The kangaroo pouch, as I call them, doesn't have that. Keep that in mind too. There's my explanation of the Rowback hoodie for those. You don't have to keep texting me. Go buy one. You'll really, really, really like it. I have my eye on a couple more. So just saying. That Range Life 15.
Just stop wearing sucky hoodies and polos. All right, everybody? You deserve it out there. You deserve to have a nice polo, a nice hoodie.
I have had some Rhoback polos for a while. They are a good investment. Like Kris said, don't wear sucky polos. These are going to last and they look cool.
Right.
Just saying that. Okay.
That Range Life 1.5. Go
that
do
Range
it.
Life 1.5 at checkout. That's Kris McEwen at Kris McEwen. Go give him a follow too if you don't mind. I'm Bill Bush at JoeRangeHeroes.com at Range Heroes on those same platforms. We thank you for joining us this week. Good luck, Akshay. We'll see you next week.